The battle lines have been drawn between the latest wrestling promotion to gain a primetime cable clearance and an upstart that has just run one show but is funded by MTV. Wrestling Society X, the name for the Big Vision Entertainment-owned wrestling promotion that taped an MTV-funded pilot last week in Los Angeles, almost lost several of its advertised wrestlers within hours of the show. TNA, spurred by new CEO Kevin Day, decided to be aggressive in creating a bit of a headache for WSX. Sean Waltman was offered a TNA contract, which he turned down. Bill Behrens, who also worked for TNA at the time, informed WSX that 3 or 4 wrestlers he represented had been offered contracts by TNA that week. Matt Sydal, Delirious, New Jack, and Alter Boy Luke, all scheduled to be part of the WSX tapings, were said to have been suddenly added to TNA's want list. TNA just fucking with WSX.
I like this idea that they were like, Samoa Joe, $2,000 a month. These random 4 nerds from WSX, $5,000 a week.
Yeah, the rumored amount was $5,000 per week to some of the wrestlers, although that turned out to be greatly exaggerated.
You could probably take off a 0 or 2 from it.
Yeah, literally 50, I'd imagine. But especially like fucking Alter Boy Luke. In TNA's defense, if the wrestlers had signed the TNA contracts, they would have still been allowed to work the WSX pilot taping. However, TNA management knew that WSX had written into its contracts that any wrestlers at the pilot had committed to several months of exclusivity. MTV didn't want to approve a pilot a few weeks from now, only to find out that most or all of the wrestlers participating had been signed by another wrestling promotion to exclusive deals. It does remind me a little bit of the Lucha Underground stuff, where they,
of course it is,
they obviously signed much deeper contracts with Lucha Underground that tied them in for, I think some of them were 7 years. But yeah, MTV are currently blowing money on a new wrestling product for WSX, and they're trying to put together a roster, and TNA's like, we like Matt Sydal, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's very funny that they were like, we have to fuck with them though.
Yeah, they're like, we are scared of WSX, so we have to take them down before they can even start.
Garrett, I've loved hearing about Wrestling Society X.
Oh, have you, Liam?
If I wanted to listen to more about it, where would I go?
Well, Liam, are you so lucky? We have done a full series about Wrestling Society X, covering every episode and some background stuff, because some dude sent us tweets on Twitter every so often about WSX. So, if you would like to hear all of those, Liam, do you know where you can go?
I don't have a fucking clue.
You can head to patreon.com/kiddingme or tnhad.com, where you can listen to every episode of our Wrestling Society X series, as well as all our other series. It's just $5. You can listen to the whole series. You can pay $5, listen to the whole thing.
Wow, I want to go subscribe right now and also make 4 or 5 other accounts at the same tier.
Or the $10 tier if you'd like.
And also PayPal Garrett Kidney $700 directly.
Yeah, me, not Liam. So in effect, if the wrestler chose to sign with TNA, they wouldn't be able to sign contracts with WSX the day of the show. It turned out that all but Delirious turned down TNA's last second offers. I think Delirious doesn't even end up in TNA either, so I'm not sure why Delirious is so singled out there, because I don't think Delirious ever appears again.
Maybe he was the only one that responded to the email.
Also, TNA had given permission for Terry Taylor to help out behind the scenes with the taping, but rescinded that permission just a day or so before the taping. In fact, Taylor had been inside TV production meetings in Los Angeles in the days before the pilot, so the information he gathered from those meetings could provide information to TNA on their perceived competitor. So they had a corporate spy.
That's so awesome.
They sent Terry Taylor there to snoop. WSX didn't consider themselves competition to TNA, otherwise they wouldn't have openly brought in Taylor since he also works for TNA. But TNA felt it was best to not mix wrestlers or producers, because they're a little bit gotten too.
Because they're a little isolationist right now.
It is funny that MTV and Spike are both Viacom properties. They're in the same corporate family.
Should have done a Wrestling Society X invasion. Have Vampiro come in.
Yeah, that's how you could have gotten the Ricky Banderas showing up.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah, the idea that you'd be super scared. Or maybe they were like, what if this catches on and they'll replace us on Spike with them? Maybe that was some of their thought process. But, guys, have confidence in what you're doing. Come on.
Well, I don't know. TNA is a product of its environment, and a lot of the people there are also very insecure about their spots, so I imagine that reflects on the company at times.
Conspiratorial gotten to pro wrestlers until the very end. AJ Styles told BarbaricWrestling.com that he doesn't think the MTV Big Vision promotion will work, and said if MTV wanted wrestling, they should have just aired TNA instead.
But you're on Spike, which is bigger now?
There is some MTV TNA crossovers as well. There's episodes of Made that feature TNA stars. Do you remember Made?
No, what is made?
It's basically they send like a celebrity to help like a teenager achieve their goal. So like a teenager's like, I'd like to be a wrestler. So AJ Styles goes and helps them be a wrestler. There's also an episode with the Motor City Machine Guns as well.
That's cute. I want to see what other like wrestlers in TV are there.
Well, there's a lot of like quiz show stuff. I saw some of the TNA on Family Feud doing the rounds.
Yeah, that's good crossover shit.
Or Family Fortunes if you're based in the UK, with Steve Harvey just deadpanning at everything the wrestlers said. There's a lot of wrestlers like there's the classic like WWE on Fear Factor, WWE on Weakest Link.
WWE on Silent Library.
What's Silent Library?
Oh, Silent Library, it's honestly one of the best ones ever because they just sent all the mid-carders through Silent Library.
I still don't know what it is.
So, like, the gimmick is that they do, like, horrific shit to them, like, throw, like, bowls at their nuts and shit, and they can't make a sound or, like, register on the decibel meter. And I want to get, I think I remember all of them, but I want to make sure it's right. Let me tell you this who's who of people that they brought into Silent Library. Nick Nemeth,
Ooh.
Kalen Croft.
Oh, Dude Buster.
Brian Myers.
Kings.
Chris Masters.
Did he do the Master Lock silently?
And JTG.
Someone argue he does the Master Lock silently all the time because he gets no reaction, am I right?
I also think, Trent was also on it. Like, there's a great bit, like, they get, a baseball, like, taped to the top of a baseball cap, and they get a kid to come in and just whack the, Chris Masters in the head with a bat.
Get him. Deserves it.
It's 20 minutes. It's from the MTV Vault. It's on YouTube. Everyone should watch it if you haven't seen it. But I found a list of 21 TV appearances featuring wrestlers.
Okay. Does it include like scripted shows or is it all reality?
These are scripted shows, which are more interesting. First one, very sad and also like weird timing with it, but actually Masaru on Smallville.
Oh.
A lot of stuff going on there right now, so
That would be Bad Company, Evil Company.
Kane on Smallville.
A lot of wrestlers on Smallville.
Because didn't Batista do Smallville?
I don't think so.
I don't, like, Edge did?
John Cena was in Psych.
Fuck you. Batista was on Smallville.
No, I don't remember that.
Charmed, Buff Bagwell.
Oh, that's the crossover everyone wants.
Charmed, Booker T and Scott Steiner.
They got all the WCW wrestlers.
Parks and Recreation, John Cena. Of course we all remember that one. Boy Meets World Vader, that's like the most, like, no, in like Mankind. The Flash, Adam Copeland.
I don't remember that at all.
I've watched a lot of The Flash and I don't remember that. Desperate Housewives, Goldberg.
That's awesome. What a combination.
Law and Order SVU, Goldberg.
What an acting resume Bill Goldberg has.
Can you name the 4 wrestlers that were on that 70s show, Garrett?
No.
The Rock, Ken Shamrock, all these TNA stars, and the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, all of them have featured in TNA in some capacity.
The Thundermans, Chris Jericho.
Not a real show. Not a real person.
That's Adult Swim. That doesn't count. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Kevin Nash.
I don't remember that. I feel like I remember that.
Supernatural, The Miz.
Ugh.
Star Trek Voyager, The Rock.
Big get for them.
Highlander the series, Roddy Piper.
That makes sense.
The X-Files, Rob Van Dam.
Oh yeah, that also makes sense. Dude,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
aliens.
There's others that are less exciting, so I'm gonna just leave it with that one. The Rock really got onto like shitty TV, huh?
Well,
I shouldn't say shitty TV. He was on that 70 show.
yeah, he was a big star in the 90s, so he did some crossover stuff before he was like, I'm
Which is funny because like now it feels like what's the word I'm looking for? Like passe to do it now. To do like a crossover like that. Of course, we also had Cody Rhodes on Arrow back in the day.
Yeah, it's mostly because like TV is now like prestige as opposed to like we'll do a goofy crossover with the thing that's popular.
Yeah, and like anything that will do the crossover is like lame. Charlotte Flair was in Psych the movie, Garrett.
Whoa.
How did you feel about that?
I loved it.
You love Psych the movie.
I like the first and third one. Second one's not great. Third one's really good though.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything. DDP was on Superstition.
I don't even know what Superstition is.
Sci-fi show. A lot of sci-fi crossovers. That's it. I'm run out.